You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Hello, pet parents, pet lovers. This is Michelle Fern, host of Best Bets for Pets on Pet Life Radio. Okay, today it's all about the birds and the cats, too. Stay tuned. This is a really cool product I want to share with you. We'll be right back.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Sheba is 105 lean pounds of happy dog for life because she gets fed Dynovite and Lico Chops.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite for your dog this week.
We'll send you a bottle of Lico Chops free.
New improved Lico Chops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E.
And now 6 extra direct-fed microbials.
Even better for the digestive tract and immune system.
Try Lico Chops.
Free this week at Dynovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
It's DesignerPetSweaters.com. Hand-knitted designer sweaters for your precious pup or cool cat. Beautiful couture patterns for your pets, including custom-knitted formal wear, casual wear, yachting, and even sports-themed. Many designer pet sweaters include feathered tammy hats, top hats, and a lot of sparkle. Each sweater includes leg loops, front paw sleeves, and leash opening. Visit DesignerPetSweaters.com to order your 4-legged fashions today. Your pets will stay warm for the winter and be runway ready. Large or small, we fit them all. DesignerPetSweaters.com.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I'd like to introduce Greg Gurland. He is the founder of Nature Anywhere. Welcome, Greg.
Hey, hi, how are you?
I'm great. Now, you're all the ways in Israel, which is so exciting, and one of the, I guess, perks of being global and digital with Pet Life Radio. And tell us what your company, Nature Anywhere, what's your company about?
Well, we founded Nature Anywhere a few years ago, and there's actually a story behind it. When our grandmother was getting old, and she was bedridden, she couldn't leave the house. And she was a great nature lover and a pet lover, and we decided, amongst the family, to try and think of ways to bring nature to her bedroom. And one of the things that we did was we built a bird feeder that we connected straight onto her room, her bedroom window, so that she could watch the birds as they come to feed, right at her windowsill. And the birds loved it, and we thought, maybe we might have just stumbled on an idea that could be commercial too. So we quickly knocked up a couple of them, like a prototype, and made a first batch. And today the world is just so easy. Like you said, you're a radio program that's global, and you can use all these online tools to pretty much sell anything anywhere. So we decided we're going to try and see if there's anything in our invention. And we took this window bird feeder, and we sold it via Amazon.com in the U.S. And within a few months, our product hit #1 bestseller in Amazon. So it was a huge success. And one of the interesting things that happened was that, when you sell on Amazon, or now we've got our own online store, you get people reviewing your product. And we began receiving lots of reviews, people telling us how much their pets love this bird feeder. Because, cats and dogs, they can really sit with their noses glued to the window, and they have birds sitting on the other side, and everyone's happy. The birds are feeding, and the dogs and the cats have their, people started calling our product a cat TV or a dog TV. Depends, and that's pretty much how it came to be.
That's a really cool story. And for everybody that's listening, of course, you can go to the Best Bets for Pets site on Pet Life Radio, and for this show, there'll be a picture of the product and a link to the Nature's Anywhere website. It's kind of for people listening to get a picture of it. It's like a clear bird feeder that attaches with a suction cup to a window, and the fact that it's clear, I think, is great because it makes it so much more visible. You could see everything. And Mr. Dennis, or we call him the Dennis, but that's because he liked the Donald, but we won't get into politics here, but we're going to start calling him Dennis now. Forget sorry, Dennis, it's gone. So Dennis likes looking out the window, but gets bored. And he was just mesmerized by watching the birds, flicker in and out, and just, he had an amazing time. And I think also, here in the U.S. and we're, headed toward like winter time, and some birds migrate, but a lot of them, don't and are in colder climates. But it's just something great and attention grabbing for the animals. Mr. Z was okay with it. He's a dog. Nikki really liked watching too, but Dennis had the most fun. He's a cat. But I love the idea that you got the reviews that people said it was almost like a cat or dog TV because they enjoy nature a lot more than we do, I think. I mean, they just appreciate it maybe.
Yeah, we didn't plan on this being a pet TV. It was meant to be a grandma TV, but it's one of these things that you just don't plan. And this year we'll be featured in quite a large number of pet magazines. Pets just seem to love this bird feeder. And, I'm a pet dad myself. I have 2 dogs, Kika and Freckles. And there's always a problem, like being a modern pet parent. We work so many hours. We're out of the home for so many hours a day. And on the one hand, dogs and cats are, they're wired to be part of a community. They're social animals. They want to spend time with us and watch us and help us, but we're not there. And then on my side as well, when I think of my 2 dogs just sitting at home bored for so many hours or out in the yard. So, pet trainers, they recommend that you make sure that your pet has all sorts of constructive ways of occupying their time when you're not around, like stuffing a Kong toy with lots of goodies to keep him busy or hiding treats all over the house every time they're in a different place. And the bird feeder just gives them another wonderful activity, and I can sit for hours just watching the birds come and go. And on the other side of the window, there's also a problem today with wild birds. The number of wild birds is decreasing year by year, and these pet feeders actually, they encourage the population to grow. They offer, especially during winter, birds that would usually not make it through the winter. The minute they have these feeders, you're actually helping the population to remain stable. So it's like a win-win-win. I mean, I love birds myself. My dogs love it, and the birds sort of survive the winter, and the population stays stable. Another interesting thing about the feeder is that you slowly begin to sort of, I don't know if you can say personally but you personally get to know your garden birds, because you get the same clients again and again. And sometimes it's even at the same hour. You know that a certain bird will appear at your window at a certain hour because the bird does it every single day, or she, if it's a female. So you really get to personally know your garden birds, wild birds, as do your pets.
That's interesting. So birds will come, because we recently moved our studio, and we are inundated with a lot of wild cats in the neighborhood, and a couple of them are going to be coming into the studio, which we're going to, for the first time, have more cats than dogs in our studio, which is exciting. And 2 kittens at the same time is going to be interesting. And the cat, always comes to the studio door to be fed at the same time. They're body clocks. So I guess birds have a body clock as well?
They do. At least from, again, I mean, I'm far from being Mr. Biological bird specialist, but from years of working with birds and bird feeders, you slowly begin to discern these patterns, these feeding patterns in your garden birds. And for me, that's one of the most wonderful and most interesting aspects of having a window bird feeder. It's getting to sort of personally learn each bird in your garden. And when you suddenly have a newcomer, it's exciting. You got a newcomer it's like having a new kid on the block. It's fun.
Okay, now I have a question, two. That first, you said he or she. Is there a way, I know you can tell by sometimes the plume or how the bird looks, whether it's male or female, or is there any other way to tell?
No, it's usually the coloring, the plumage. Males, unlike us humans, the males seem to be the more colorful and beautiful bird, and the female a little bit grayer, usually.
That's what I've heard.
My favorite bird is the northern cardinal, and the male will be this beautiful red color, and the females will be sort of gray with just a little bit of red tints here and there, for example.
That's what I've heard. And what about, do the bird feeders get really messy to clean up, or do they stay pretty nice because the birds are feeding there?
When we built the first feeder, that was one of the main things that we took into account, because at the beginning, in the first few months, our grandmother was quite mobile, and we wanted her to be able to clean and to refill in the food. So we create all our feeders with removable feeding trays. So you don't have to take the whole feeder into the house to clean it. It's just the feeding tray. You slip it up and slide it out, and you can refill it easily. When it comes to making a mess, again, because it's so easy to just slip the tray out, the mess is very centralized. And usually most people have our feeders hanging above, like in the garden or grass or something. And you really don't have a problem with bird poop.
Yep, that's what I was going. So, because some people might say, yes, but it's nice, but, well, I have a lot of bird poop all over my window. So, and the answer is no.
No, also, the feeder it's attached to the window facing outwards. So, how can you say this? The business end of the bird is far away from your windowsill.
Right, so unless it had aim to where it could direct and go in an arc, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. No.
We have to give good visuals since we're audio. There's people, can go online and check and go to Pet Life Radio, Best Bets for Pets, and link and see the picture, and then go right to your site so they could see it and view it after. But while they're listening, I always like to give people kind of like a visual. This is what it looks like. And I love that it's all clear, because it doesn't really obstruct the window since it's all clear, and it doesn't like look like a big house or something right in front of your window. It's just very nice designed.
Thank you very much. We also use a very unique polycarbonate material that it has all these filters inside that keep the plastic clear, because one of the problems you have with most plastics is that over time in the sun, they become sort of milky. They become like dirty. And we use a special polycarbonate with materials inside that keep it clear for years to come. Would you like maybe to describe how our feeder looks? Because as you say, we're not a very... So to the listeners out there, if you can imagine a small house made of clear plastic, and this house has 4 industrial strength suction cups, and you adhere the house just sticks to your window. So basically, when you're standing inside the home looking out, you can see a little, well, not so little, it's about 10 by 15 inch plastic house with a perch. And the floor of the house is basically, that's the tray with the birdseed inside it. Also, during the past 2 years, we've improved the model, and the side facing the home is empty. Like there's a big circle cut out of the back of the house so that when you look out of the window, there's nothing between you and the bird. I hope I managed to describe it properly.
Now, that sounds like a very good explanation. And it's nice that if you're a bird lover, this is a great gift, great item to have. It's great for anyone with dogs or cats to keep their attention, and they don't have to be high up. Dennis will jump. He'll jump onto a ledge and look out. But the dogs, of course, don't do that. They don't have to be high up. They just watch.
Kids also love the feeder, and refilling it this is something that we got from the reviews when we started selling on Amazon. Kids would actually fight to be in charge of the chore of refilling the feeder. It's like a fun chore around the house to do. And again, I've got 3 daughters, and for me to get them to look up from their phones is almost impossible.
So that's a universal thing, right? The phones.
Yeah. I mean, it's completely taken over the brain. But whenever a bird lands in the feeder, it's just phones are forgotten. Look! Look, there's a sparrow. We're everyone's looking, everyone's focused, and we watch it. Usually the birds, in the beginning, they come, they grab the feed and fly off, and they slowly get more acquainted with the whole situation, and they spend more and more time in the feeder. So the girls really put their phones down sometimes for quite a few minutes and just watch the bird feeding and sitting and preening. And it's an amazing educational gift if you're looking for something for young kids. And again, it's a chore that they love doing. They love refilling it, especially the younger, like the really young, the 5 to 10-year-olds. You know, they feel so adult. You know, it's my turn to feed the birds.
Let's talk about I know that you're not a bird expert, but what kind of food do you think? Can we just go to the local pet store and say, I want a like general bird feed? Or, because most of our listeners are dog and cat owners or dog and cat pet parents, and they might say, this is, a cool idea, but I don't know what to get for birds. I know what my cat eats, my dog eats, my birds. So how did you go about figuring out, since you don't have birds but you have dogs and cats, what type of food to put in?
Okay, that's a great question. And like everything in life, that's trial and error. But there are some specific types of food that most birds will like, and they'll be the best if you're just beginning. If you're a beginner bird feeder, we'll be selling a range of different bird seeds. But for the beginner, I would suggest trying. Our bird feeders all have 2 compartments, so you can try different types of seeds side by side and check which one of them works best for your specific garden birds. I would start with an all-rounder such as black oil sunflower seeds. Those are pretty much the best seeds to try because there's a very large variety of birds that will eat black oil sunflower seeds. You get them shelled as well, so you can get them either in the shell or out of the shell, and you should try both. Sometimes the shelled sunflower seeds will have better success. They're a little bit more costly because they've obviously they've been shelled. But shelled sunflower seeds would be one thing to try. I wouldn't recommend the mixtures that they sell in these pet shops because most of these mixtures are like 50% extraneous fluff and 50% good stuff. I would go for black oil sunflower seed and should try shelled seeds. You could try some cracked corn. Some birds would like that. But black oil sunflower seed, that is the recommendation.
Okay, now what is that called? Black oil?
Black oil sunflower seed. As opposed to the long sunflower seeds, which in some places people munch. Okay,
so you could just get at grocery store, health food store.
Pet stores would probably be the best place to find.
Pet stores would have that too? Okay.
Yeah, and probably the best prices as well.
Okay, probably not like just a mix of stuff, but just get the seeds themselves.
Yeah, I would recommend trying different kinds of seeds. Actually, you know what? In our on our website, we have a birdseed guide. So maybe at the end of this interview, I'll give you the link, and you can maybe link up to this page where it's a guide that you can download, and we will let your listeners download this guide, and it has every single bird in the U.S. and some of the European birds as well, and what is their favorite and preferred food.
That's on your website, the link, right?
Yeah, it's a link to download the actual guide. You don't have to go through. I'll give you a direct link for the guide that people just click, and then it downloads automatically.
Okay, and then we'll also have information when this on the interview, when it's posted on Pet Life Radio. Everybody all my listeners know they can go to Best Bets for Pets, look for this show, and there is a link to your site, and the link for the bird feeder, bird feed bird guide is on your site, so they'll be able to go there as well. Because I know some people are listening as they're driving and won't always be able to take down the information. So we always have that information on the site, and that stays on the site ever since we first started.
That would be great. This is a guide that you can't find it yourself. We use it, for special occasions and for special people. So the only way the listeners will be able to access it will be through this link that I'll give you for the show notes.
So where can people find information as far as, you mentioned Amazon, and people can also purchase the Nature Anywhere bird feeder from your site as well?
Yeah, we've just launched an online store at nature-anywhere.com. That would probably be the best place to purchase it because anyone who purchases a feeder through our online store gets a lifetime guarantee. So in 20 years from today, you suddenly find a crack, then you get a new feeder. but that's only if you purchase it on our online store. So I would recommend, the price is the same around, there are a few small pet chains in the U.S. that also stock our products, but it's mostly on our online store, and on Amazon.
Okay, wonderful.
Nature Anywhere.
Greg, at this time, is there anything else you wanted to add?
The bird feeder we've been talking about in the last 20 minutes is called the Bird's Eye View Window Bird Feeder. Bird's Eye View. Its retail price is $29.90, and we also have a hanging tree version called the Easy Feeder that retails for $24.90. So if you want to have one in your window and another one, if you have a branch near your window, then that's also a possibility.
Oh, and what a wonderful idea that came out of helping your grandmother. So I think it's a great idea. I'd like to thank you so much for being on Best Bets for Pets and telling us about your Nature's Anywhere bird view feeder and the hanger and a way to further entertain our fur kids, our dogs and cats, and our winged feather friends as well.
Thank you very much for having us on your show. We were very excited when you invited us. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. I'd like to thank my guest, Greg Gurland, for coming on Best Bets for Pets, and my producer, Mark Winter, for making me and my guest sound fabulous. He does such a good job. We appreciate him at the studio. He edits and checks up on the other editors, and he does an amazing job. And thanks to Dennis and Nikki and Mr. Z for participating. And our soon new little tester will be Charlotte. She's going to be joining our family soon, and she is a little kitty and loves birds. And this is such a cool gift. You'll find more go to Pet Life Radio, Best Bets for Pets. Look up the show episode, and there'll be a little bit more information about the product and where you can find the product as well as a special link only available on Pet Life Radio, Best Bets for Pets, or by personal invite. And you can find out what kind of birds you'll find in your area and different little feed tips and so forth. Keep listening. There's a lot coming up for your meows and woofs and, I don't know, whatever sound birds make. Woo, woo, woo. Maybe owls how do owls sound? Woo, woo. Okay, forget it. I'm not good at the owl's noise, but you know what I mean. And thanks for listening.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.